Hello, Louise here. How are you on this beautiful day? I'm popping in to talk to you about allyship and the very first thing you can do as part of your allyship journey. I get asked this a lot, what's the first thing that I should be doing? And my answer to that is something that's usually a little bit of a surprise to the people that I work with. And I say to look within. It's about looking at your own heritage lines, looking at your lineage, looking at what makes up you, what has brought you to this spot. It's looking at what's the culture that you're currently living. And I know a lot of people can be a little bit confused when I say look at your own culture, because there is this belief that there are people with culture and there are people without culture, and that's just not true at all. Every person on the planet has culture, and that's a really good indication that maybe you need to be looking into your own culture and looking at, where you sit in the grand scheme of everything. You are very much a part of this whole system that marginalized people are part of as well. And so it's really great to just get that standpoint of where you sit in that big picture. Not only that, it's really great to have a look at, where you came from and your story up to this point, and your family's story up to this point, your ancestors, and really celebrate it, because every single culture is beautiful. And every single culture should be celebrated and shared and embraced and loved. And quite often I see with people who are really committed to their allyship journey is there is this feeling of guilt or shame, particularly if they're aware of their ancestors or heritage and aware of some of those stories being, not great stories or not kind or compassionate stories from the past, and that have influenced marginalization and oppression and the creation of some of these systems that are still held today. So there's a lot of that real shame around that and guilt around that. And so I really encourage people, when they want to start walking on this allyship journey, to take a step into that knowing of self and learning about yourself, and then accepting self, looking at it through the eyes of love and acceptance, and know that what is. We can't change it. We certainly don't have to accept that it is something good. We certainly don't have to ever want to repeat those things again. But we are now living in a life where we are experiencing things in different ways, and we're having access to new perspectives and narratives and stories and information. And this is information that maybe our ancestors didn't have access to. That does not excuse what has happened in the slightest, but what it does now is it gives us a new point of power where we have this new amount of knowledge and, listening to these people speak, people who are marginalized, and then we can now make the choice on what kind of life we want to live. How do we want to move forward with this? And if we're coming from a space where it's total love and acceptance of ourselves and our heritage, our DNA, our lineage, and our rituals and culture, what that really does is then you step into that allyship journey space with those same vibrations, with those same feelings of love and acceptance. And you don't have to carry with you that anger or that shame or that guilt from the past, the things that have been. It's now coming from a space of real true power, real true sovereignty, where we get to make the decisions. We can say we don't like what is at the moment. We're not satisfied with the status quo and we want to change it. But it's not about changing anyone else. It's about us really accepting ourselves. And because we know how important it is for us to accept and love and cherish ourselves in our own cultures, we then know how important it is to acknowledge and cherish and love and embrace people from other cultures as well. And that's where that power comes from, because you can be amazing and awesome just exactly how you are, and they can be exactly awesome exactly how they are as well. And so that is the very first step I always encourage people to do, and to not bring those past negative feelings along with them along their journey. It's about creating love and acceptance. And I hope that this has been helpful to you. If you have any comments, if you've had any like aha moments around this, if it's something you never thought of might be part of an allyship journey, please leave a comment in the comment box. I love to hear from you, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.